Добрий день, друзі.
Good morning, dear friends. We are glad to welcome you at this new venue where we have brought together two teams, one from Ukrainian National Ukrinform Agency and the other one from Ukraine Media Center. And our speakers will tell you the story in more detail. You're welcome, Oleksandr Tkachenko, Minister for Culture and Informational Policy of Ukraine. You're welcome, Oleksandr. Good morning. We see this unique initiative, namely joining together government resources and people from the civil society. This is a public-private partnership. Of course, at the beginning of this war, we had to respond very quickly and everybody had to do their job. Now we understand that the war continues and we have to consolidate our efforts so that the informational front, all journalists would be able to get information firsthand, because now war is not only a physical war, but also war in the information space. And the ability to receive information firsthand is also one of those components of our war, our actions in this war, because freedom of speech is important. Of course, those who know the truth will win, and we know who knows the truth, who speak the truth. So what this venue will enable us to do? There will be both public and non-public events for media. We'll help foreign media to cover this war and help Ukraine in creating its victorious informational policies. So good morning, we are from Ukraine, we'll win. Thank you, Oleksandr. Now I'd like to welcome Oleksandr Kharchenko, Director General of Ukrainian National Information Agency, Ukrinform. I am sure that start of our joint project today is the right step towards our victory, and this is an important event because some skeptics would say that governmental institutions cannot work in an effective way. Some skeptics say that civil sector cannot be professional. Some skeptics say that we have different characters, different paces, we breathe in a different way, so to say, so we would not be able to join our efforts, but we show that we can join our efforts. We have our venue, our foundation, we have modern communications, we have information support from our partners, we have a great system of interaction with foreign journalists developed. We have great response to public demand. And it all creates that synergy which will enable us to win, because definitely the enemy has been using a lot of tools against us. Fake news, misinformation, psyops. We have our only tool, which is honest information, the truth. And if you use it in the right way, we'll definitely win. And we'll work, we'll do everything in the right way. We'll provide both Ukrainian and foreign journalists with this convenient location in the very center of Kyiv, and good working space and logistical support across Ukraine. So you're welcome. Thank you, Oleksandr. Alina Frolova from Ukraine Media Center, its representative in Kyiv. Good morning, everybody. Indeed, we are glad that we have managed to joint efforts, because we believe that the more efforts are made, joint efforts are made towards victory in this information war, the better. Why working with journalists, working with foreign media is so important? Because we have all seen how much the global community's attitude has changed after all those terrible events in Bucha and Kyiv Oblast, and it's due to foreign journalists. There are more than 7,000 of those accredited in Ukraine by now, and it all has affected the situation in the whole world and policies of the leading nations who provide us with weapons and support, and it affected the development of this coalition, wide coalition. We are for truth indeed. Our job is to support journalists as much as possible in their activities, and that's what we will be doing, so everybody is welcome at our venue. Thank you. Andrii Shevchenko, who represents the Ukraine Media Center in Lviv. Truth will definitely win. We will help it to win. We would like to really thank the Ministry of Culture and Informational Policies and Ukrinform agency for this initiative. This location should become a location for journalists to work and live. The place where news is created and where senses are created, senses that we need for victory. Information is a weapon, and Ukraine has mastered this weapon in the same great way as our military has mastered their weapons in a military battlefield. We will win. Dear journalists, you're welcome to ask your questions. Please speak into the microphone. I'm Maria Gonchar from Ukrinform. I'll have several questions for Mr. Tkachenko. My first question is this. How many locations and institutions in the cultural sector have suffered because of war, and can you announce approximate cost of their recovery? On our website we verify the data about those facilities which have been damaged or destroyed, and as far as I remember there have been more than 250 of such facilities which suffered to a different extent, but we have been working towards restoring some of those facilities in the liberated territories, and I hope that very soon we will be able to do it. The matter is, Putin himself says that maybe culture is the only weapon they are able to use to push the agenda of so-called Russian world. So we are fighting against that Russian world in Europe. And I'd like to thank those facilities, those institutions who have already stopped cooperation with Russian official cultural institutions. There have been more than 120 such entities in Ukraine, including well-known festivals, opera theater, and so on. So on this front line, we also have some fight. Thank you. Are there any more questions? I have several questions. My second question is this. Which countries have already expressed their willingness to help Ukraine in restoring those places of culture which have suffered because of Russian military aggression? And are there any negotiations with any? During the week I speak with at least 3 or 4 ministers of culture. There have been some tentative arrangements about assistance for us to maintain our cultural heritage, including in the information space. Those are rather big amounts, and very soon I hope to be able to tell you. And I know those amounts, they are inspiring. Thank you. Any more questions? I'm Paweł Rachowicz from Polish Rzeczpospolita magazine.
As far as I remember, 2 weeks ago, the media center organized a sort of trip for journalists to, it was not Bucha, but other town where war crimes took place, just to watch the work of a special group of investigators. Will there be any similar chances in the near future for journalists? Thank you.
Українська.
Do I understand Ukrainian? Well, indeed, we have organized several trips. Those were trips to Bucha, to Borodyanka, to Irpin. We helped journalists to travel on their own to various locations. We organized trips to Chernihiv. We keep watching over the situation, and we organize those trips. We are also ready to receive requests from journalists, but unfortunately we cannot now arrange trips to the eastern part of Ukraine because it's simply dangerous when there are tours by a group of people, but we can help those who travel on their own. But about more or less safe territories, yes, there will be more tours. Thank you. Any more questions? I will also add something. We have also been planning a series of background events for journalists. The Ministry of Culture and Informational Policy has expressed its willingness to work together on arranging such events, and we can provide background information on the record about developments in the front lines, as well as evacuation and other areas of activities. We have also had successful experience of orientation sessions for journalists. For example, in Lviv, we did it jointly with people like well-known Ukrainian historian Yaroslav Hrytsak, who helps provide historical geopolitical context to those events. So you're welcome to monitor announcements of our events on Ukrinform websites, on our Telegram channel, and other social media, and on our website. Thank you. You're welcome. Any more questions? I have a question for Mr. Tkachenko. How many countries are there where Ukrainian channels broadcast, including those joint news? And what news can be received there? Since the beginning of this war, we have expanded broadcasting using several satellites, so actually it's available in Northern America as well as in all European countries. A lot of cable TV networks, IPTV networks receive signal from that joint channel. Also our Freedom channel, which broadcasts in Russian, has been expanding its activities more, so if its audience, at least in YouTube, have been from Russia. Thank you, dear colleagues. Are there any more questions? Thank you. Many thanks to our speakers. Thank you for finding time and joining us on air, and you're welcome to monitor our announcements. Our next briefing will be held at 2 p.m., so you are welcome to attend it. Thank you.